remember my confirmation class. Saturday mornings, I'd hop on my bike, ride down West 165th Street, and it's a really good thing that it was downhill to the church, or I never would have made it and I wouldn't be standing here now. Sometimes people say catechism is wasted on the young, so we're studying it this year as the entire church. But one thing I was struck by, even as a 9th grader and even now, is how the catechism is actually an outward-looking document. For example, and this one was always wonderful when teaching catechism class, has anyone broken the 5th commandment, which is, yes, you shall not commit murder, or you shall not kill. And all of my classmates would say, no, we've never done that. And when I would teach confirmation, the same thing. But here's how Luther explains this. We are to fear and love God so that we neither endanger nor harm the lives of our neighbors, but instead help and support them in all life's needs. The Lutheran movement is not an inward-looking movement. Of course, we're grounded and based on our faith in Jesus Christ, nourished by the sacraments, sustained by weekly worship, but we're never just looking inward. In 2016, in June, I, along with others, gathered for the Lutheran World Federation Council meeting. We were in Wittenberg, Germany, and every day we would go to the Castle Church for worship. This is where Luther preached, the Castle Church. This was absolutely quintessential Reformation, wonderful history. But the most striking thing to me was listening to the Lutheran Bishop of Malaysia preaching in that same space that Luther had. The Lutheran movement has grown far beyond Europe and the United States. It's a worldwide movement in over 100 countries. In fact, the most significant growth right now is in sub-Saharan Africa and in Asia. And the Lutheran movement now is something that has caught the imaginations, but also the hearts and minds of people to hear this message of the complete free gift of grace, that we don't have to earn nor can we deserve or be worthy of this. It's just a gift. This sets people free. And as these people are set free, who do not eat the same food we do or dress the way we do, this Lutheran movement has grown and is a source and a way that God's work can be accomplished by our hands. This year we are observing the 500th anniversary of the Reformation. 500 years ago, Lutherans and Roman Catholics were killing each other over issues that were church dividing. In the 2016 Churchwide Assembly, we celebrated the acceptance of Declaration on the Way, where we say that there are areas in church, in ministry, and in Holy Communion that no longer divide our two communions. In the Called Forward Together in Christ process, you were very clear that the work that we do through Lutheran Disaster Response, through the ELCA World Hunger, and through other projects are deeply important to our understanding of ourselves as the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. Over 90% of our congregations have some kind of a hunger ministry, a food pantry, a community garden. They support a food pantry, a clothes closet, and ELCA World Hunger is busy not only around the world, but in the United States, helping to make sure that people can be fed. We've been very active in the Amparo initiative, which says that when children come from Central America unaccompanied with not much on their backs, it's our joyful duty to act as a neighbor to these children of God. Luther used to call the church a mouth house, a Mundhaus, which means that people need to hear the good news of Jesus Christ. And to do that, we need to raise up leaders throughout the church. We know at this time that the church is changing, that we're having a large number of pastors and deacons going to be retiring, and we need leadership in this church, and leadership that's different from the way most of us grew up. It's not just up to the pastor or the deacon to share the good news of Jesus Christ. We need well-trained, well-educated, engaging people who are willing to talk about the gospel. Because, as St. Paul says, if they don't hear, how will they believe? The gospel word creates faith. And so, we are looking for leaders, and it's not just up to the seminaries to find these people. If you see someone with a call, with a giftedness, with a passion for the gospel in your congregation, start encouraging that person. Colleges and universities do the same thing. Our Lutheran camps and campus ministries, we all need to work together to raise up leaders. We are, by our baptismal vocation, called to be ambassadors of reconciliation. So, church, this is work that we need to do together. I don't know if you can see the artwork behind me, but it's a vision of a diverse world coming together. In some ways, as they're streaming to see the baby Jesus in this artwork, you can see they're people of all different cultures and ethnicities. And in fact, if you read in Revelation chapter 7, that is the glorious vision of heaven, that people of all nations, all languages are streaming together to sing praise to God. This is what we're called to do, and this is what you have said you believe God is calling us to do. 2,000 years as the church, 500 years as the Lutheran movement, 29 years as the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. All of us only have this ministry for a season, but this is the season God has given us. It will be exciting to see how we can be used to bring this wonderful news of freedom and life in the gospel. Let's see where God is calling us forward together in Christ.